Hello Facebook, Dan here from Organik Digital, and today we're talking about how to set up custom audiences. Now, with custom audiences on Facebook, it's for Facebook advertising. So custom audiences are, as you guessed, audiences that you can send your advertising to, and they are really where Facebook advertising starts to get interesting, because the great thing about custom audiences is they are people that have shown an interest in what you have to say, or have connected with your business or your brand at some stage or another, because that's how you get them into a custom audiences. And the best thing, or the sweet spot for Facebook advertising, is when you can continuously retarget and remarket to your custom audiences on Facebook, and that's where you start to see some amazing scale and some results from your Facebook advertising. But surprisingly, a lot of people don't know how to set them up, so I just wanted to run through today, and I'm going to share my screen in a sec to show you how easy it is to set up a custom audience, and also some of the options that you might not know are available. So I'm going to share my screen. And this is the Facebook Business Manager, your Facebook Ads Manager. To get to audiences, you need to come under the Assets menu and then the Audiences option here. And then you'll be presented with this screen. And it's pretty easy to create an audience. You will see all of your previous saved ones here. And then if you select the Custom Audience button, you'll see a pop-up here, and these are the different options that you have. Now, I'm going to run through each of them and the options that you have available, because they're slightly different, and some of them have different bits about them, I guess, that will be important to you. Let's go through the customer file first. So a customer file is where you would have a list of, for instance, subscribers or email addresses, and you can actually, in that file, you can include quite a number of pieces of information. So if I was to select create upload an email list, these are the different identifiers that you can use. So what I would actually do is I would upload a CSV, and as you can see, it doesn't actually need to include an address, but it might have the first name, surname, you might have a date of birth, maybe where they live, for instance, or even their phone number. And what Facebook actually does is you upload this file to Facebook. Facebook goes through all of your data that you've uploaded in your little CSV file, and then it tells you how many people out of that file it recognizes that has a Facebook profile. So it doesn't actually tell you who they are. And of course, there is an element where they might not be able to find that particular user. Or for instance, if you've got a subscriber list that has a bunch of email addresses in it, which is one of the most common ones, but they might use a different email address for their personal Facebook account than they do for maybe what they use to subscribe to your email list. So the great thing is that Facebook has opened up all of these different identifiers that you can tick and combine all of these different options to be able to make it more specific, and there's more chance that Facebook will be able to find them. It used to be that you might only be able to identify about half of that list, but now it's getting much more accurate. For instance, the other day for a client, we uploaded just over 2,300 addresses, and it recognised 2,100 of them. So that's a pretty good strike rate to be able to grab a warm audience as well, because they subscribe to them. And what Facebook does with these custom audiences, as we're going to get into lookalike audiences in a sec, is that it looks through the data based on their profile and pulls out the little data sets, and it groups them into certain sections that then grow into lookalike audiences. So that's the first option that you've got. You can just copy and paste, or you can upload a CSV file. You can also use the connection with MailChimp, which is great as well. You just log in, and then you tell it which lists you want it to look through, and that also updates dynamically as well. So if you use MailChimp, highly recommend that you use that connection there as well. Now, the next one is website traffic, and the options for website traffic are unlimited really, because it used to just be that you would retarget browsers of your website, but now you can retarget, and you think of the different combinations that you've got that you can put in people that hit the different web pages of your website. For instance, pages that have hit a particular blog post, for instance, you can enter that URL, or you can have different combinations of people who visit specific web pages but not others. So for instance, if they got through to your add to cart page and they've added a product in there but they didn't actually convert, so they didn't, for instance, go to the / confirmation page that they would hit after they put in their their payment details, then you can create an audience out of that, and you can send an advert back to them saying, hey, there's a product in your cart, come back and convert over that purchase. So you just think of the different combinations that you can have here, and that's why I say they are unlimited. But this is where you can get really defined in your audience and really targeted with your advertisements to make sure that they're seeing the right advertisement at the right time based on what web pages they've browsed. And the best thing is that when you set up these different campaigns that retarget to these custom audiences of specific pages, once you set it up once, they're done. So that, you know, that combination of hitting the cart page but not confirming their purchase, you set up that campaign once and you're good to go. And you know that whenever someone doesn't convert, there's going to be an ad out there in Facebook land that's going to encourage them to come back and actually complete that purchase. So that is a great, and this is the most powerful part I find in custom audiences, is the website audience, because you know that they're interested in what you have to say because they've actually gone through and visited your website. Now, under here, you've got you can also do it in the last however many days you would like, up to 180. You can do different combinations to say, you know, you might only want, for instance, that person that didn't convert, you might only want them to see an ad for the next 7 days, because, you know, if they're seeing it for a month after the fact, they're probably not as likely to come back and actually complete that purchase. So you might want to keep them fresh, so you can take this down to, you know, 5, 6, 7 days, whatever you like, and then you can create that audience there. And of course, I probably should have mentioned at the start that website custom audiences are driven by your Facebook pixel, which if you haven't learnt about the Facebook pixel, you need that installed before you create the website custom audiences. I've got a full guide on Facebook pixel. If you go to organicdigital.com.au/pixel, you'll be able to find that one there as well. The next custom audience is app activity. So if you have a mobile app or a game, or a Facebook app, for instance, so if you're running a competition, or you've got something dynamic, there's different developers out there that create different promotions using Facebook apps, you can actually retarget people based on the activity that they do within that app. Now, it's obviously specific to that app. I don't have a mobile app, nor do I have a promotional app installed, so I can't actually go through and show you this, but it works very similar to the website traffic custom audience as well. And now this, the next one and the last one, which is relatively new, as you'll see, Facebook will tell you, it's based on, and this is amazing, this new feature, because it allows you to retarget people that have actually engaged with different pieces of content. So you can do, for instance, people that have watched a video, your lead advertisements, so if they've opened a form and they haven't completed it, a canvas, so Facebook Canvas is a type of advertisement. So it's that in between someone that hasn't actually clicked through and visited your website yet, because you would use your website custom audiences for that. But for this, it's just retargeting to people that hit specific, that engage with specific pieces of content. So I'm just going to show you exactly what each of them means. So with the video, you can come through, and the different options with video are great. So say, for instance, you've got a video that goes for, let's say, a minute, to make it easy for me to do the maths. You can make a custom audience on people that have viewed at least 3 seconds of your video, maybe at least 10 seconds. And then you can also create an audience of people that have watched, say, at least 50% of your video. So doing maths, you would know that people have then watched at least 30 seconds of your minute-long video. So when you compare the interest between someone that has watched only 3 seconds and hasn't gone through and watched 50 seconds, it's pretty obvious which one you're going to send an advertisement to. So you can retarget to people based on their interest level of what you have to say in your video. So again, it's such an easy way to retarget these people without having to get them to perform an activity such as clicking through to their website. And you also got interest levels all the way up to 95% there, so you can get some really interested and engaged people around your videos. The lead adverts are people that have opened up. They're an advertisement type that's basically like a little form, subscriber form. So you can retarget the people that have opened one up and hasn't completed their details. So again, it's retargeting people similar to that. They've added someone to cart and haven't purchased. Similar concept. They've opened it up but haven't input their details. Retarget them there as well. And now Canvas is a dynamic type of, it's almost like a mini site. You might have seen them when you've opened up some advertisements before, and they open up, they're purely just mobile based. And this is allows you to retarget people that may have opened up the Canvas, may have watched any of the videos in there as well, but haven't actually clicked through on any of the links through to your website. So again, it's that in between. And then the last one, which is great for people that have built a big following, is you can retarget people based on engagements that they've done with your page. And there are different types of engagement. So this is to just people that like your page. So it could be anyone who has visited your page recently. If people have clicked on any of your posts, so if you've had a really engaging post and popular post that's got a lot of engagements or clicks, then you can retarget those people. The call to action button is on the main part of your Facebook page, where it just sits underneath your cover photo, and you can have anyone that's clicked onto that. You can also create, now this is a really interesting one, people who have sent a message to your page. So if they've actually private messaged you before, then you can actually click in, you can create a custom audience from them and drive another advertisement to them as well. And also people who have saved your page or any of your posts. So often if I find links that are useful, I will use the save function on posts, and they'll come through to my saved items, and then I can consume them afterwards. You can create an audience from them as well. So great if you're building a big following and a number of people that like your page. These are some really easy ways to retarget people, and I guess it's a different level again, because they haven't clicked on any of your links, or they may not have clicked on any links. They haven't necessarily watched any of your videos, but they may have liked your page, and maybe you've got a whole heap of likes sitting there, but as you know, organic reach is very small. So this is a great way to make sure that the people that actually have liked your stuff before and recently have you can keep them engaged by spending a little bit of money on advertising. And I'm sorry to say, but Facebook is a pay-to-play platform, so if you're not happy with that, then that's just the way it is, unfortunately. But the capabilities that they have to get uber targeted to your audience outweigh any of those necessary costs that you're throwing up at me. So there we go. That is how to set up a custom audience. Now, when you set up a custom audience, it will allow you to set up a lookalike audience. So you will see here that I have, let's just view this one here if it will let me. Yep. This is a lookalike that I've set up before. So it was a lookalike on percentage of video views. And what lookalikes do is they take, like I said earlier, all the data from that custom audience that you've got, and then they take all the data points from those profiles and they shape people that are very similar according to their behaviour, their interests, their online habits and what they do on Facebook, and they group them into this audience for you. Now, the bigger the audience is in the bigger the existing custom audience is, the more targeted Facebook are going to get. So if you've only got, I think the minimum is 100 people to put into a lookalike audience, it's not going to give Facebook as much information as someone that has a existing custom audience of 1,000, for instance. So as you grow those custom audiences and you want to reach a bigger audience, then you can use these lookalike features, and they're country based. So you would set up a percentage based on the overall country's user base. So this is 1% of all Facebook users in Great Britain. So, which is about 413,000. So it means there's about, do the maths for me, that's about 41 million Facebook users in Great Britain. So that's how you can then send, if you're particularly targeting a cold audience and you're going out fresh, then creating those custom audiences, boosting them up to lookalike audiences, and then this is a potential target of people because you know that the people similar to the ones that have already engaged with you are going to have characteristics in this overall audience. So that is Facebook custom audiences. I hope that is a lot of help for you. If you've got any questions about custom audiences or any other Facebook advertising resources, just leave a comment underneath this video. I'll also post some other relevant links in there, including the guide to my Facebook Pixel, which you need to get installed on your website. If you haven't, then you're not going to have successful Facebook advertisements and you're not going to be able to convert them. So I hope you have a fantastic day wherever you are. Again, my name is Dan from Organik Digital. Thanks so much. I'll chat to you soon. Bye-bye.